that one of the most satisfying wins? I mean, it looked like everything that you stressed going in actually played out.
It was one of the most concentrated games by our team we've played this year, and against a really good team. That's a really good team, and it's a well-coached team. Obviously, the star power they have. The thing I liked about our team when we had our meetings on them, it's probably the most we've spoken about another team this year. We really don't spend a lot of time talking on other teams. I felt we had to with this team. And the thing I was most worried about was, did we spook our team? Did we put our team back on our heels just with our preparation? And as I said last night, I think the most gratifying thing for me is I saw our team play with patience and respect of the opponent and the patience involved in that, but also we were on our toes. That's a difficult thing to do sometimes. That's what I like most about our club last night.
You said that you don't usually talk about the other team. You've also said this week that these games are different after the All-Star break. They're more intense. Are you going to do that more?
No. To me, it's just focusing on our competitiveness, our willingness it's not a lot of X's and O's, Charlie. It's a mindset of how hard you do have to play at this time of year. They have put themselves in a situation where they're still playing meaningful games here in mid-February, and now you got to take what's coming and see if you can handle that to continue to play those meaningful games. So that's going to be our biggest focus.
When you accomplish what you guys did defensively against a team like that, how beneficial is it as a coach to be able to point to that and say, guys, when we play the right way, it works.
Yeah. You get to we get to talk on it. That's all we do is talk, but they get to lean on it because they did it. We didn't do it. We direct them and try to give them what we think is the best way to play against the team, but they did it. And you go through a year, you want them to do this, and you want to keep on going back to it. But you need results, too, for them to believe. We believe all the time. Players need to have results at the end of the night. And especially the way we got it last night, and we found a way to win on a shootout. I don't know what the record in the shootout here is. I know the record of this year's team as far as overtime play. But, so they found a way to do it that way.
You've talked a lot about resiliency, at least like with the mental ability to come back, but did that show you how far they've come just in terms of play, that they could not just rebound mentally but actually make the adjustments they needed?
Yeah, they checked, and they checked consistently. There was one time in the second period after they scored their goal, they come down and have another chance. Same two players, McDavid and Kane, and those are key moments for our team. Now, do we give up another one? Do we just lose total momentum? It didn't happen. We regathered ourselves, started checking again, tried to stay away from turnovers, and then found our game. It was a hard-fought game, and I thought we stood right in there against a team that you talk about their top players, but they have some good players right on through that lineup. And I just thought we stayed within ourselves and stayed on our toes without being sloppy with turnovers. Sometimes when you say get on your toes, you think it's a license, or they think it's a license just to go. But no, we were on our toes, but also had patience and discipline within our game.
There's always, obviously coaches want teams to play a full 60 minutes, but a full 60 minutes doesn't necessarily mean you're controlling play for 60 minutes. No one does that. At the end of regulation, there was a big push from them. They controlled the play. Was that more just that you're playing against a really good team, it's going to happen, and you have to lean on your goalie a little bit?
Yeah, and I thought it was a really good game by Carter, because there were sometimes they were storming us, and then there were other times in the game we were down their end, and Carter wasn't seeing much action. Especially at the end of a game for a goalie, that's when the pressure's really on, because he's thinking about, we got to get a point here anyway, and I think he's done it all year long. I think he's handled himself so well in just his composure throughout the game, no matter what's going on, and he's been our best player. this year. He's been our most consistent and best player and continues to be.
One of the very first things you said when you were hired is that you wanted to help him out and like get the play in front of him to be stronger. Looking at it, how far has it come and how big has that also been in helping him maintain this?
We've improved. We still have work to do, but it's to be expected. But we've improved. I think the thing that has to change first, and I think it has, is the mentality, not so much the physical skills or the reading and positioning. It's the mentality of that's a huge part of the game. And I know I get criticized a lot talking about defense in a game that everybody wants offense. You cannot win in this league if you don't have a mentality of learning how to defend. And I do think we have players that have accepted that right on through. They have a belief that that's a big part of winning. That's the first bridge you have to cross. I think we've crossed that. I think we've gotten better, but still inconsistent through 60-minute games and through game to game. But we expected that, and that's our job to continue to try to improve at.
You mentioned yesterday morning about Travis Sanheim, that you need more from him, that you saw during that 1 month he looked really good,
Yeah.
and he's kind of dipped down. Was last night more of what you want to see from him?
Immediately from the first shift right through, he was up the ice. He was trying to make a difference. It was night and day in that part of the game. I still, even in last night's game, he needs to be stronger defensively. He can't get stripped. He needs to be harder to play against defensively, and he's shown us he can do that too. But as far as trying to make a difference offensively, right from the drop of the puck, you could see that was on his mind. And, really encouraging, really encouraging. And the defensive part of the game, I know that'll come and go. We just want it to be there more than it isn't, and I still think there needs to be some improvement there.
Do you think, in terms of offense, do you think it helps him to be with Risto rather than Tony because Tony is also another more offense guy?
Yeah, it might be. I don't know, but we like the pair. We like the pair of Risto. I think Risto has come onto the scene big time and deserves some of the minutes he's getting. And we've liked that pair. And we've liked the Provy-Yorkie pair. So we'll stay with it. Whether that, you might have to ask him. We just put them together and see if they play well, and we'll keep them together if they do. If they don't, we'll take them away. But the biggest thing with Sandy, I think he changed his mindset. He's not lying in the weeds, and he has a personality that he's such a good guy that you can kind of just lie in the weeds and be the good guy and play. We want you to play. And he played last night, and really encouraging as we go into this part of the year.
I imagine with Nick Steeler, you probably had to do your homework a good bit on him before you arrived here.
Didn't.
Okay. What did you, in talking to management and trying to figure out who he is before you really saw him play, what did you hear, and then has he exceeded expectations?
Yeah, I'm not so sure in if I remember correctly, the conversations kind of really wasn't on the map, and not one particular, just there wasn't a lot of, I don't remember a lot of conversation, and here he is, and improving. That's the really good part of it, that I think he's still improving. I think he's 28, 29 years old. He's a glue guy too. He's a guy you root for. He's a great teammate, ultra competitive, and will stick up for his teammates. I think he makes other players bigger out there because of just how he will handle himself if he has to. So he's been a good. Listen, he makes mistakes. Sometimes he has problems moving the puck, but he's going to try. And the most important part for me, I still see him improve as we're going into games 52, 53 here.
He took a year away from hockey a couple years ago. He didn't play.
I did not know that.
Yeah, in 2020-21, the shortened 56 games,
Yeah.
he didn't play hockey. Pretty impressive to see what he's doing now after.
Yeah,
break.
yeah, and he's just got a will about him. That's what I love about him. It's just written all over him. One of the best conditioned athletes we have. Came in camp in tremendous shape. and is just one willing guy. And as I kind of allude to, Philly, the city, how we want to play, he fits it. And he's there. He's played very well.
Kind of going back to what you said about Travis Sanheim, you said he's a good guy, people like him, he kind of fell back into the weeds. But with regards to that, how important is it when you're building a culture to have guys that are good guys, not just even in terms of good people, but just to be able to create that camaraderie in the room. I know
A steadiness. It's a steadiness. Yeah, and don't get me wrong. It's not a criticism of him. I think he's a very quiet guy, at least from what I know of him. And again, I've only been here for a few months. It takes a little while, I think, for them to get to know me and me to get to know players as we go through it all. But him and I haven't had a lot of conversations. We haven't really spoken that much, and he just seems like a pretty quiet. Shazi spent a lot of time with him. Very smart player. I don't want to turn him into a personality that he's not. I want him with the competitive mindset he had offensively last night. I want to see it in his defensive game too. And then you get the guy that we saw for about a month this year. We saw it, both sides of the puck. And as I told him then, now we saw it. Now you're screwed because now we want to see it all the time. And I saw him in the gym today. I looked at him, and he says, "It's all in my legs." That's his quote to me. It was all in my legs. And his legs were going all night long and jumped into holes. So hopefully, and it's going to have to get better. We played a really good game last night. Really happy about it. Okay. But we've got some teams coming up here. We're going to have to keep on playing really good. So I want to give them their, positive about what happened last night, but we got to keep on trying to get better.